Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. One thing I've noticed with pigs is they're like cats and they want to shove everything off the edge of the world. So take for example our porta hut here. So this was one of our huts that we bought a long time ago that we use for our piglets. It used to be up there at the barn, but the sows just over time knocked it over the hill. If we turn around behind the camera here, that looks like an oversized doghouse was one of the first shelters I made for the pigs. It sat further up the hill as well. And of course, over time, they've knocked that thing over. And that thing weighs about 400 pounds. And then finally, right here, which is what we're going to focus on today, is our 2-ton pig feeder. And as you can see, it's knocked over the hill. So we're using it with the sows when we had them on the north pasture. And once it became empty and we were ready to move them, before they left, it was like a final hurrah to say, ha, threw it over the hill. So there we go. So we've got to get up there and fetch that and get that put away because we're not going to use it this year, we don't think. Alright, so the plan is to go fishing. I was wanting to do this while the ground was still frozen. We had a nice cold night last night, but it's already thawing out quick. So maybe running out of time. Oh my goodness, maybe simpler just to throw the thing down the hill. Let's go fishing. Okay, so funny story, and I owe Super ATV an apology. I did a video a couple weeks ago where I was putting the winch on the side-by-side that Super ATV sent me and talking about how it was good and really loved it and worked really well, but I couldn't get the wireless remote to work. So I reached out to Super ATV and said, hey, I believe this remote is defective, and explained the situation as I drop it in the mud. Explained the situation, and they were really helpful, man. Just immediately they sent out a new solenoid, said replace the solenoid, new remote, and let's see if we can get this fixed. So swapped it out, did the exact same thing, and I'm like, man, this just doesn't seem right. Why would we be causing this? So I talked to Tyler again over at Super ATV, and he's like, yeah, that's really weird, man. We've never had trouble like that. And he said, are you sure you're using the remote right? And I'm like, yeah, Tyler, I mean, come on, I'm not an idiot. It's a button. There's 2 buttons on the remote. I know how to use a remote. And I said, well, yeah, I think so. I'm pretty certain I do. He said, well, are you turning the remote on? And I said, what does that mean? He said, you got to press the 2 buttons simultaneously, and it powers up the remote. For the simple reason, of course, of not having the thing power up while it's in your glove box. And I said, oh, this is clearly an ID10T error, and we will resolve it immediately. So, when you do what you're supposed to, it's amazing how things work. Yeah, roll over the hill, junk. Sit. Move to West Virginia, they said. The mountains are beautiful, they said. You'll get tired of flatland. It'll be boring.
done wrong, busting in here when it ain't going on, knocking down windows, knocking down doors, and now you're lying dead on the ballroom floor. Now old King Brady was a big fat man. Doctor reached down, took a hold of his hand, felt for his pulse, and then he shook his head, said, believe to myself, King Brady is dead. He'd been on the job too long. When the women found out that King Brady was dead, why they goes back home and their dresses in red, come shuffling and a sighing and a crying down the street in them old Mother Hubbards and their stocking feet. Them rubber tire buggies just waiting around took King Brady to the burying ground. Yeah, them rubber tire buggies, them rubber tire hacks, they took him to the graveyard, never bring him back. He'd been on the job too long. Now twinkle, twinkle, little star, there went Brady in his electric car. You know he had a mean look right in his eye. He thought he'd shoot somebody, it was him that died. He'd been on the job too long.
I'm just complaining. Just be complaining. We're going muddy. Release. Oh. All right, roll it in. And that about sums up the day today. Almost an hour to get from right there to right here, the long way. May have been better off just to roll it on down the mountain and fish it out of the creek than. Yeah, I waited too long. The ground had thawed out and was really muddy, and my tractor wouldn't even, it was way too much weight. It wanted to just slide over the mountain, so we had to do it the hard way. But we got it here. We'll get the lid put back on it and get it cleaned up. I got to put a new rail on it. The pigs broke the wooden rail off the bottom, so I got to put a floor on it, or rail at least, to be able to pick it up easier. All right, so that's one project down. Again, apologies to Super ATV for being a dummy when it comes to turning the remote on and off. I now know how to do that. So if you guys ever have a Super ATV winch and the remote isn't working, make sure you've turned it on. All right, take care, everybody.